Big hail, big snow, and a lot of storms late tonight into Sunday. Let's talk about it in this Sunday evening edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. All right, good evening. It is the 10th of February, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy and Chief David Rammer coming up to 8:30 p.m. Central Time this Saturday evening. The potential for significant severe thunderstorms later tonight into Sunday morning from the Concho Valley through the Hill Country into central Texas, even parts of North Texas and the Brazos Valley. The potential for damaging hail up to the size of baseballs, strong wind gust, and a potential for a tornado or two. And that doesn't even get into the whole big winter storm element we're going to be dealing with as well late tonight and tomorrow across the Panhandle, West Texas, and Northwest Texas. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with the severe weather outlook. We're going to talk about both severe and snow. But for severe weather, here's the latest severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. This is the 7 o'clock issuance for tonight into Sunday morning. Again, we are expecting scattered severe thunderstorms to develop between 10 p.m. and midnight in the Concho Valley, likely southeast of Midland to east of Fort Stockton, up towards Abilene. Those are going to move east pretty quickly early Sunday morning, across places like San Angelo, Junction, Del Rio, Eagle Pass, east through San Antonio, Austin, Round Rock, Georgetown, Temple, Belton, Waco, potentially even up towards Hillsboro, and eventually making it to the Brazos Valley by about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. The strongest of these storms will have the potential to be quite impactful, with damaging to destructive hail up to the size of baseballs, localized wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. The tornado threat is not zero, but I think hail is going to be the most impactful issue. It would not be a bad idea to park your car in the garage tonight if you have that ability. The storms will continue to move east Sunday morning into the piney woods of East Texas, Southeast Texas, with the continued threat of large hail, damaging winds, and potentially a tornado out of the most intense storms. The tornado threat is more uncertain than the hail threat. Hail, that's going to be an issue tonight regardless. Tornado threat, if these storms are able to stay north of a warm front where surface temperatures are going to be in the 50s to low 60s, tornado threat will be very low. If we end up getting these storms interacting with that warm front, or they are able to materialize south of the warm front where temperatures are going to be in the upper 60s to low 70s, we may have more of a tornado issue late tonight into Sunday morning. And please do not think that just because it's the middle of the night, the severe weather threat's lower. This is going to be an event where we have such a dynamic and potent upper level storm system, as we usually do in the winter months, that is going to offset any sort of diurnal cooling effect being the middle of the night would have had. In fact, as the night goes on, we're going to become more unstable as that upper level storm system arrives. In terms of snow totals, again, let's look at this real quick, then we'll talk about the timing of all of this. We're continuing to expect 4 to 12 inches of snow late tonight through early Monday morning. Texas Panhandle along and south of Interstate 40, Happy, Plainview, east, Turkey, towards Childress, Lubbock. All the potential for significant snowfall tonight, Sunday, Monday morning. Significant snow is also expected across the northern Texas Panhandle, but I think the highest chance for 8+ inches of snow will be between Highway, let's just say 82, 380, all the way up through Interstate 40, off the Caprock towards Childress into southwest Oklahoma. And again, there will be local variations. The map is probably not going to look like this when all is said and done. There will be bands of heavier snow over smaller areas, and we could easily see snowfall totals exceeding a foot in those bands. Thunder snow, 2-inch per hour snowfall rates tomorrow, while areas around it may see half of that. And again, with surface temperatures initially expected to be near or just above freezing, roads may initially be wet, transition to slushy, and then tomorrow night temperatures are going to fall into the teens out here. Whatever's on the road, slush, water, snow, is going to turn into ice by Monday morning, resulting in nasty commutes. So road conditions may actually be worse tomorrow night into Monday morning after the heaviest snow falls versus tomorrow when the snow's actually falling. We're going to have gusty north winds as well. Lighter snowfall is possible in northwest Texas, the big country, maybe even into Oklahoma and Texoma. That's more uncertain. Some data data is showing heavy wet snow further east, but surface temperatures 33, 34 degrees should keep it confined mostly to grassy areas and a lot of melting. All right, let's talk about the timing. Here's the latest high-res rapid refresh model. This is right off the press, brand new data. As you can see, we are going to have problems with storms later tonight. We are enjoying a lull right now. It's mostly quiet. It's happy. We're able to eat dinner. I'm not having to do live coverage. That is not likely going to be the case by the time we get to 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. Sunday, when we're probably going to be doing live coverage. We've actually got storm chasers heading out around midnight to deal with this, and then we're also going to be dealing with snow tomorrow. So again, initial storm development in the Concho Valley, east-southeast of Midland, east of Fort Stockton, around 10, 11, 12 tonight. Those will move east across the Concho Valley, Big Country into portions of North Texas, along and south of Interstate 20 for the most intense storms, but we're going to have storms all the way up to Interstate 40 in Oklahoma City. It is going to be loud and proud tonight. It is going to be stormy. Texoma, North Texas, Central Texas, the Hill Country, the Brazos Valley. Tonight, tomorrow morning, those storms move east into the Arklatex, East Texas, Southeast Texas. Storms, hail. We could be dealing with, especially those supercells that move across the Hill Country, Central Texas, into Austin on this data. Those could have baseball-sized hail in the morning. Those are going to be problematic. And the most detailed, technical, meteorological terms I can use, the potential for a big ouchies is certainly present and increasing in the hail department. But again, all the way up Interstate 35, those storms could have small to pocket change size hail. Heavy snow. Already starting Northwest Texas Panhandle. We're going to see that into the Panhandle, West Texas tonight, tomorrow morning, Northwest Texas, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, as that band moisture wraps around a surface area of low pressure, and then that's going to translate east across southwestern Oklahoma, central Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma, Texoma, North Texas, maybe even the Big Country. We could even have some snowflakes mixing in, but again, warm ground temperatures, surface temperatures right around or above freezing should preclude travel impacts for most of those areas. That being said, if we see any of those heavier bands of snow set up that try to drop 2 inches of snow per hour, it's going to take a little while for that to melt off even roadways, because that'll overwhelm the melting rate. Heavy snow, overwhelming melting rate means sticky snow. This is all going to be a heavy wet snow. It's going to stick, but it should be mostly grassy areas. Panhandle, West Texas, Northwest Texas, we may see impacts on roads as well, especially where we get, a foot of heavy wet snow. That's going to stick to roads, even if it's 33, 34 degrees. It's going to take a while to melt off, and then by the time the melting's almost done, well, it's going to be in the teens and 20s, especially across the Panhandle, West Texas, maybe even Northwest Texas below freezing tomorrow night. All that'll turn into ice. And then finally, Monday morning, this is all going to start exiting the state. We should be mostly done by 3 a.m. Monday here in the state of Texas with all precipitation, gusty northwest winds with a cold front coming in, knocking temperatures back down to where they should be for mid-February across the northern two-thirds of Texas on Monday with highs in the 40s. And 50, 60, 70, some third of Texas, we're all going to be back in the 60s and 70s by Tuesday. This is not a crashy, the Arctic cold front situation. We're dealing with snow because of the extreme potency of the upper level storm system, causing temperatures aloft to become quite cold, and some of that cold temperature is going to be dragged down to the surface with the heavy snow, the heavy precipitation allowing for heavy snow to occur even with surface temperatures not necessarily below freezing. This is in a case where we have cold air in place and then the precipitation arrives. This is a dynamic cooling situation from the storm system itself, so the track of that will be important. All right, so with that being said, yes, we're going to have chasers out tonight, and on Sunday we will have live storm chasing video on the Texas Storm Chasers website, YouTube, mobile app, probably Facebook too. Facebook doesn't really like us doing that, so we'll see. But you can watch us on the aforementioned platforms. Live severe weather coverage expected. Now, we may not do continuous coverage, but we'll probably have a stream up by 3 a.m. doing at least updates every 20 minutes. And yeah, if we need to do continuous coverage, we will. But yeah, we're going to be up all night. We're going to be here for you as we get into Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon for severe storms. And then we're all just going to go boogie out and go document the snow because we're snow weenies at heart. That is going to be it for your evening update. We're probably going to see a severe weather watch issued for the Concho Valley, maybe the eastern Permian Basin, the Hill Country. I would expect by 10, 11, 12, we'll likely start seeing the initial watches come out, and then the storms will get going, and it'll be off to the races. So we'll be here. We'll be providing you updates. You can always get updates on your phone. The free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for us in your device's app store. And as always, you can track the storms with our free interactive weather radar on our website, TexasStormChasers.com. We'll be here. We'll be keeping an eye on things. Y'all have a good night. Stay weather aware as we get into Sunday morning.